Customization of remote control button. You can associate function with buttons C1, simple on the front, C2, 3 position on the rear right and custom, 2 position on the rear left. There is, for example, the sound alert of EAC, turtle mode, rapid tilting of the nacelle, arming the motors, manual mode, but not all combinations are possible. It's up to you to choose from those available. Headtracking. This is a new feature offered by the Goggles 2 headset. When Headtracking is activated, the Avata tracks head movements with on-screen indication with superimposed aiming bars. If you look up, you're looking up. Lower your head, the camera tilts down. Turn the head to the right or to the left, the Avata performs a rotation. The feature is fun and should appeal to gamers, but it gave me the feeling of duplicating the motion controller to look around. In the end, this head tracking function did not seduce me and I deactivated it. Head tracking with the remote control worked on the test firmware, but in the long term, DJI should only offer it with the motion controller. Head tracking with the remote control worked on the firmware test, but in the long term, DJI should only offer it with the motion controller. Photos. The Avata is not really intended for shooting photos, although it can. The sensor is given for 48 megapixel, yet the shots are in 4000 by 3000, 4x3, or 4000 by 2160, 69, or 12 megapixels at best. It stores image in JPEG, no RAW. It's imperative to press the shooting button to shoot a photo. It's a shame a mode of triggering at regular intervals would have made it possible to concentrate on piloting. But to tell the truth, that would probably not have been possible either, because the screen freezes for a short time each time you take a picture. Not easy to continue flying. The photos are therefore in normal or sport mode and in over. That said, the result is very correct, especially since the settings allow you to choose parameters manually. Note that the EXIF data of the photos contain the GPS position and the altitude. The camera can be rotated using the radio control knob, so photos can be taken with the full amplitude of the nacelle up to 60 degrees upwards, up to 80 degrees downwards, but seeing the protections appear. HD videos. The Avata makes it possible to film in HD with storage of stabilized image on board the device, either on a micro SD memory card, not supplied, or in the drone built-in memory, which offers 21.1 gigabytes. This is a great capacity which allows you to come back with images, even if you have forgotten the memory cards. To simplify, 1 minute of 4K 60 video takes up 1 gigabyte of memory. The integrated memory therefore allows you 20 minutes of images. The maximum speed according to DJI is 150 megabytes per second. In my test, it topped out at 130 megabytes per second at 4K 60 and H.265, which is good enough. The settings. The photo and video settings are offered directly with a swipe of the touchpad upwards or in the general menus. Camera tab. The Avata shoots in 4K at 50 and 60 FPS, in 2.7K at 50, 60 and 100 FPS, in 1080p at 50, 60 and 100 FPS. The settings in auto mode allow you to choose the exposure. If you are more demanding, you can switch to manual mode to choose the ISO, shutter speed, color temperature yourself. You also have the possibility to prefer 4x3 to 16:9 to choose the angle between normal wide and ultra wide. The Avata also offers a normal or designalized color mode to tweak in post-production. Finally, the video can be stabilized, either in rocksteady mode, the movements are softened, but the roll type inclination are maintained, either in horizon steady mode, the image is also kept flat. It's also possible to deactivate image stabilization. This only makes sense if you absolutely want to use the shakes in the video. Take advantage of the settings. The choice of angle is important. The ultra-wide settings helps to accentuate the impression of speed at very low heights and in the presence of obstacles, but it slows down sequences in open environment. It also distorts the edges of the image. The wide and normal settings allow for beautiful footage in open and in normal or sport piloting mode to avoid seeing the structure of the drone appear on the sides in the event of sudden braking or steep descent. In manual mode, the camera is frozen. The structure does not appear on the screen, even in ultra-wide settings. The choice of DC lag is essential to efficiently rework the sequences in post-production. The subtleties of the settings. The Avata does not offer a choice of video encoding, at least in the firmware versions I have used. It records in H.264 on the goggles too and on board the device. There are no settings for H.265. It seems that the encoding of the videos recorded on board the Avata is H.264 when used with headset 2, the new one, and H.265, so HEVC, with headset version 2, the old one. The logic escapes me, but there must be a good reason. Besides, if you're shooting in 4K, you don't have to access to the 4:3 spec ratio. If you are shooting in 100 FPS, you don't have access to ultra wide angle or horizon steady.